What's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Headshot and thank you guys for joining us today. Today we're talking about our top 5 favorite striker fired guns. These are amazing options if you are into concealed carry, home defense, at the range. Some of these guns can really make you look better than you are. Obviously a lot of practice is needed to be a good marksman, but a lot of these guns can really help you out along the way with great triggers and all kinds of things. But today I'm just going to show you our 5 favorite striker fired guns. The best thing about striker fired guns is that consistent trigger pull. Each and every time it's the same trigger pull, and this is really important for self-defense because, you know, like with our SIG Legion or the FNX 45 Tactical that we have, that first trigger pull is really long and it can throw you off, and in a self-defense situation you really have to master the double action. The single action, you know, anybody can really shoot that and be really good with that, but that double action is most likely the way you would carry it, unless we're talking about 1911s or anything like that. But with striker fired guns, it's a consistent pull each and every time. So once you get good with that gun, you know what you can expect, and to me it's just a really big pro of the gun. And plus, most of these guns are polymer, they're light, they hold a lot of rounds, everything that you would want in a self-defense, home defense, or, you know, just a range gun. So I'm going to talk about the key features, what each one of these brings to the table that kind of separates it from each of the other ones. I'm going to have a wild card in there and just kind of show you a couple of things on the guns. Now I know that I'll get a lot of flack. Maybe a lot of people agree with me. Either way, however you feel, leave us a comment down below. Let us know what we missed. And thank you to Palmetto State Armory for the awesome looking shirt and the hat. Make sure you follow us over on our Facebook page for some, what I'm calling, is this for real deals, because I don't know how they make money on some of the deals that they promote and all this. It doesn't matter. Take advantage of them. Come over on our Facebook page and I will hook you guys up with some amazing deals from PSA. Thank you to them for their support. Now, number 5 is one of the new kids on the block, the CZP-10C. This gun has really taken me and Mrs. Headshot by storm. It's a gun that a lot of you guys have raved about, and I see why. It has a lot of great features. Let me show you a couple things on this gun that make it really stand out here. First of all, if you're looking for a fully ambidextrous gun all the way around, this might be a good option for you. Ambidextrous magazine release, both sides, slide stop. You even have the little grip area right there, so whenever you go to grip the gun, it's going to give you a little bit more of something to hold on to. That's on the other side as well. So fully ambidextrous all the way around. Price point on this gun most of the time is under 500 bucks, and it comes with night sights right there. So these are really a great set of sights for under 500 bucks. Now, what you're going to get, 2 15-round magazines. You're going to get your back strap options. This gun in the hand is a little bit more aggressive. It's probably one of the most aggressive on the table. If that's something that bothers you, you may not like it, or may add some Talon grips or something like that, but it is definitely aggressive in the hand. Front and rear slide serrations. This gun is basically the size of a Glock 19, a little bit heavier in the weight, but it is very close. This one really gives you a lot. It's like a $450 Glock almost. I mean, really, these things are great. And like I said, it's number 5 on the list, and we've dealt with a lot of striker fired guns in the past, and it's already at number 5. Let me show you how the trigger looks. Now, if you want to see weight and how it shoots and all that kind of stuff, we'll show you a little bit of the shooting here, but just check out the our regular review on this. But just to show you how the trigger looks on this gun, I compared it to the PPQ. Here's the wall. There's the brake. Reset right there. It's got a great trigger in it. A lot of great features under 500 bucks. Most of the time, the CZP-10C is definitely a great option, and it's number 5 on our list. Number 4 on the list is going to make a lot of people mad, but I don't care. It's still on the list, so get over it. The Glock 19, Glock 17, whatever Glock you want to put in there, this is definitely a gun that everybody should have. That can legally own guns. You should have one in your collection. Not the best in my opinion, but definitely a good option. Mrs. Headshot will show you some of the features on this one. All right, this is a utilitarian type of gun. It is as basic as they get, but Glock has been doing this a long time, and they've been doing it good enough to where pretty much everybody is copying this design because it is such a great design. Now this is a Gen 5, so you do have the ambidextrous slide stop. Magazine release is reversible. Reliability, ruggedness, that's what these guns are known for. You do have your backstrap options in there. It comes with 3 15-round magazines. That's an extra 45 bucks that comes with the gun. And most of the time these are around 550 to 600 bucks depending on where you shop, which model you get and all that. I'm just kind of basing it off the 19 and the 17, 26, so on and so forth. You have the Gen 4 options, which are a little bit cheaper now. But one thing about this gun, doesn't really make a big difference to me, but I know a lot of you guys care about this, is the high grip you get on the gun. Okay, very low bore axis. You can get your hand high up on the gun, and you have this little undercut under the trigger guard. Most of these guns don't have that little undercut, and it allows you to get your hand even higher up on the gun, underneath the gun. It does feel good in the hand. A little bit weird on the grip angle, but it does feel good in the hand. You're going to get plastic sights with this one. I mean, you can get night sights from the factory, but that's going to bump your costs way up. So you might as well just go with something aftermarket. If you decide to change them, go with something aftermarket and something you actually want. But it is going to come with the plastic sights on it. But all the way around the gun, it just works. And it really is just a really good gun. No finger grooves on the Gen 5 option as well. So if that's something that means something to you. But let me show you the trigger here really quick. Not the best trigger, but it'll get the job done. Hit the wall, a little bit of creep, and it breaks, reset, right there. It's got a decent trigger on it. And the coolest thing about this gun is the weight to capacity ratio is still unmatched. Even though there are some really great options on this table that are really close to this gun, for the weight, the grip length, which is what you're gonna try to hide if you try to conceal this gun, and the capacity you get, man, they really have that dialed in, and you get a really light gun with a lot of rounds, and that's a really cool feature on Glock and something that I really like about the platform. For around 550 to 600 bucks, this is definitely a gun, whatever Glock you go with, that you should definitely have in your collection, and this is number 4 on our list. All right, number 3 on this list is a gun that's gotten a lot of flack in the past, maybe rightfully so, but a gun I still think is just amazing. It's the HK VP9. VP9 SK is the one I'm going to show you, but it has basically all the same features. It's still a striker fire gun. This is a great option. Let me show you some of the features on this gun. It has a lot of them. Front and rear slide serrations. You have the luminescent sights. Okay, so for around the price point of $5 1/4, depending on where you shop, you're going to get the luminescent sights, which don't really do you any justice at night. But these things work amazing during the daytime, and you can go with night sights. It's just a lot more expensive. In the rear, you have these little charging ears, so these are great if you have weaker hands or dexterity or whatever. It gives you something a little bit more to hold on to in the rear. That's a pretty neat feature, and it doesn't really stick out too wide and makes it look kind of funky. So it's a cool feature, and you can remove those. This one is a German gun, okay? So unlike the new Walthers and all of that, where they've gone to the traditional button release, you're going to have these paddles. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but man, you can really be quick with this. What I like to do, because I can't really reach around with my thumbs like that without really breaking my grip. So what I like to do is drop it with my middle finger like that, and boom, the magazine is out of there. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it is really a nice option, and it's fully ambidextrous naturally, which is pretty cool. Now, on the grip texturing and the panels, one thing that makes this gun stand out is that you can not only remove the back strap, but you can remove these side panels. Okay, so if you have thicker palms or whatever, you can really customize this grip to your liking. So that is a pretty cool feature. All right, now this gun, depending if you get the full size or the subcompact, it's going to come with 2 magazines. If you get the law enforcement edition, it's going to come with 3 magazines. It's also going to come with night sights, and it's also going to be about $125 more, so just keep that in mind. The grip texturing on this one is really subtle, but it's got a nice feel in the hand, really natural grip angle, and that grip texturing really does feel good. It is very PPQ-ish if you've ever had one of those in your hands. Really subtle, but does a great job of just keeping it locked in. Not as aggressive as like the CZ or the next option I'm going to show you, but definitely does a good enough job. And this one also has like a striker indicator in the rear. All right, so you have that little red dot right there that kind of goes away whenever you pull the trigger. It's attached to the back of the striker, so it lets you know when the striker's been dropped. And then let me show you the trigger on this one. This one has an amazing trigger on it. Hit the wall and it breaks. Really great trigger. All of these guns have good triggers. There's your reset. Just a great option. This is a gun that I have been carrying most of the time until the P365 came into my life. That review is coming very soon, but this is a gun I've been carrying pretty much for the last year or so, and it's really a great option, really a great shooter. And this is one of those guns, whenever you get comfortable with shooting, or if you are comfortable, you're going to pick this gun up and say, man, this thing is really great. Ambidextrous slide stop looks a little bit different. You have that little bar right there on that side, and then it's on the left hand side of the gun too. Just a great overall option, and number 3 on our list. Now if you're on a budget, we have a gun for you that's on this list as well, and one of my favorites. I'm probably gonna cry when I have to send this gun back, but it is the Smith & Wesson M&P M2.0 Compact, or really any of the M&P lineups, especially the M2.0. They've done some amazing things with this gun. I'm going to show you some of these features right now, and to me it's just one of the greatest striker fire guns, man. They've really revamped the trigger. They've added the front slide serrations, which aesthetically look good. If you do press checks or whatever, it gives you a little bit more to bite onto. The grip texturing has definitely been improved. Probably the roughest grip texturing on this table, but it really locks into your hand when your hands start sweating and you're shooting fast, and just outside, whatever, it really locks into your hand. Carrying the gun, that might be a little bit annoying to you, so I like to carry or wear an undershirt in between my skin and this grip. But at the range, man, it feels really good in the hand. It will imprint into your hand, but it feels good. You don't have to readjust or anything like that. Pretty much fully ambidextrous. You can reverse the magazine release, so it's not completely ambidextrous or full-time ambidextrous, but for left-handed shooters, you have your slide stop and you can reverse your magazine release. Steel sights right out of the box, which is a great option, and these sights, for being just regular sights, work really good. You have a shelf back here, so if you have to do a reload off of a table, a boot, whatever, you can do that. Peephole up top. Rail, of course, and then, depending on which model you get, magazine release, it does come with 2 15-round magazines. If you go with the full size, it's going to be 17 rounds. But just overall, an amazing gun, and most of the time these are under 4 1/4. You heard me right, under 4 1/4 for a Smith & Wesson M&P, the new M2.0. You got to shop around. You guys can look it up, but man, you can really find some great deals. Interchangeable palm swells. Overall, just a great gun. The biggest difference between this one and the original one, I'll show you right here, is in the trigger. They've done a great job with this trigger. Still a hinge design, but it's lighter and crisper. Let me show you this. You hit the wall, little bit, just the slightest amount of creep, and it breaks. Reset right there. The old M&Ps, you couldn't even hear the reset. You just kind of let it all the way out and shot again. If you're somebody that shoots off the reset, you're going to appreciate that. It really has a great trigger in it. And it is number 2 on our list, which means number 1 has to be a good one. All right, so number 1 on this list. Well, first let me get to the wild card. If I had a 6th option on this list, it would be the Walther PPQ. Hands down, it's an amazing gun. Nothing against it. I just feel like the CZ just kind of beats it, just because it's a little bit lighter, but that's really a bad excuse. The Walther PPQ is an amazing gun. If I had a 6th option, it'd be on here. Just so you Walther fans know, I love that gun too. I just like the CZ a little bit more. Just my opinion. You can beat me up over it, but I still do like the Walther a lot. Number 1 on this list now is the infamous SIG P320. I don't care what any of you guys say. I don't care about it at all. I think the P320 is still the best striker fired gun. They had issues, obviously, we seen with the drop testing and all this. I talked to some SIG guys actually over the weekend at an event that was going on at PSA. They recognize the issues. Really all they do if you send it back is they put a lighter spring in there and it lightens up the trigger pull just a little bit. You have to drop the gun at such a perfect angle for it to fire, but still they're taking care of you guys. And one thing that I've learned, I want to throw this in here. Remember that Honor Guard review that we did like 2 years ago? I learned a lot from that because we never gave the manufacturer a chance to correct the problem before we did the video. We would have still put the issue in there, but I contacted them after we put it in the review, and then we did a follow-up and let you guys know that they took care of us. Here's the thing, manufacturers have issues. It just happens. It happens with every single one of them, but it's how they respond. And Honor Guard and SIG responded in the right way. They took care of you guys. They took care of all of us that have a P320, and that means a lot. Heck, the guys at Honor Guard still contact me. They hold nothing against me. They even invited me to come down and take a look at their facility. So they're really a great company, and they responded in a great way. And SIG did the same thing, because every person that has this gun in their hand says the same thing. Holy crap, this is an amazing shooting gun, and I just happen to agree that it's #1 on our list. Now this one is the RX version, okay? So you don't have to get all this. It comes with the optic and all of that. This one as it sits is around $750 to $800. The base version of the P320 is right around $500, okay? So forgetting the optic, around $500 is what you can get these things at. Most of them come with 2 magazines. You can get this in the compact, which is what you see here, the not so compact, the subcompact, the full size. There's a carry model that's a little bit bigger than this. I think it has a longer grip with this slide. Anyways, you have plenty of options that you can get this gun in. Front and rear slide serrations, ambidextrous slide stop. You have your magazine release that you can reverse. The grip texturing, again, is pretty subtle. But one thing about this gun is it's such a natural point of aim. You pick this gun up, you put your sights on target, and there's really no adjusting up or down or anything like that. It just seems like that front sight is in between the 2 rears. It just really feels natural in the hand. If you've ever shot one or if you have one, you know what I'm talking about. This thing feels really good in the hand, and it points very naturally. One thing that's different about this gun is you can switch these grip frame modules out. You can pull the firing pin chassis basically out of the gun if you want to go with an FDE or an olive drab or just a smaller frame in general. You can do that by changing these, and this kind of makes it a little bit different and you know, kind of different in the way you don't change any palm swells or anything like that. You just change the whole grip module. So if anything happens to this, you know you can replace it easily. So that's a really good thing. They were kind of hard to come by for a long time, and I asked the SIG guys, hey, what's going on with this? What's up with the P365? And they say they are pumping them out as quick as they can. They're just producing a lot. So overall, the gun is just amazing. Let me show you the trigger here really quick. You don't have any safety dingus on this one, so that makes it a little bit different as well. You hit the wall, and it breaks. Reset. Right there. Most of the P320s are coming with the SIG Light night sights, okay, if you can see through the optic right there. Really great set of sights, and like I said, most of them are coming in around $500. So you have a gun with night sights. This one and the CZ, that is a really, really great price for a gun with night sights. All the way around, the gun is just amazing. They've made modifications to it over time. They've trimmed down the takedown lever. They've trimmed down the controls. They've done some great things with this gun, and it is my favorite striker fired gun. Now, of course, I want to know what your top 5 striker fired guns looks like. Let me know down in the comments below what I missed, or if you like the list. Either way, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and as always, hold them down.